explain, because to me, we talked about it years ago when he was the starting quarterback at Florida State, what I thought he needed to do to become a legitimate ACC starter. And now he's well beyond that. In your eyes, James, what is he doing, and what is his arm talent and the type of throws that he can make today that he couldn't make 2 or 3 years ago?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I'm out there just looking. It all looks the same. I will say this: there are three other quarterbacks, and when he's throwing it, it's a rocket. It looks a lot different. Um, you know, I think when they talk about arm talent, they're really just talking about now. If you look at Patrick Mahomes, not saying anybody's Patrick Mahomes, but like Pat Mahomes can make any throw at any angle on the field. That's arm. That is like if he's the apex of arm talent. So like he can be running to the right, see Travis Kelsey 20 yards to the field, all the way to the left, moving to the right. He can throw the ball on a line across his body on the other side of the field, and nobody and accurate enough to where it should only get to his guy. That's the apex. Most people can't do that. But when you're looking at a guy who can drop back on a 5 or 7 step drop, he can throw the out route. He on time across like on the
Mhm.
wider side of the field, be able to get it to where it's just him or us or nobody ball. It is able to thread like because that's really the difference between the NFL for guys who've never played. Even if you just played it on Madden, it's literally you got to throw guys open. And a guy who's wide open in college, typically, like if somebody's wide open in the NFL, is a true blown coverage. Typically, there's literally the wide open is a matter of inches, and arm talent means you got to zip it in there. And when you don't have it, you have to have elite intellect, and that's what Drew Brees and Tom Brady had was elite level intellect, to where Tom Brady was so good at throwing people open that he didn't have to have the youthful attributes. But you obviously don't want your rookie quarterback coming in and having the athleticism of a 45-year-old quarterback. You would like them to be able to come in with some tools. So I think that's kind of what they're looking at when it comes to that.
Yeah, the Bucks they're looking at a quarterback situation where they need to find someone, and we've been covering it. And Anthony Richardson has been popping up on all these mock drafts, and just depends. You've got Kyle Trask that has been in the system for a little while now, was behind Brady and Gabbert, and now there's a lot of talk with this new Seahawks guy coming over. He had his introductory press conference today. Like, what are the plans moving forward? And they talked a lot about Kyle Trask, and maybe they're going to give him the opportunity, give him the keys, and let him learn this upcoming season. But when going to the camp, it wasn't so pretty for Kyle Trask. And that's just not because we cover Florida State nonstop over here. It's just because learning the system, and it took a little while for him to do the same thing at Florida. And I'm wondering if he'll take the same amount of time to do that here in Tampa, or down there in Tampa once I get down there in a few weeks. So I'm interested. There's definitely, I think it's a good question you brought up, Mark, and that's something we should jump on to sometime this offseason, of the difference between Jordan Travis and Anthony Richardson, because they have a lot of different threats that they bring to defenses, but we don't really specify kind of like their capabilities that make them different from one another. So that's a really good discussion that I think we should jump into this offseason, because, Jordan Travis coming back for another year, I think Anthony Richardson could have done the same thing, but maybe it's not the right situation, right timing with Billy Napier being down there and kind of going into year 2. So he felt like this was the best situation for him going against the other quarterbacks in the draft. So it's good. It's a good discussion. It's a good topic you brought up.